What's up, guys? This is Living the Dream Podcast. I'm Sam, and today we're going to do a little episode about blue collar and the holidays. You're probably listening to this episode Thanksgiving on the way to the family member's house or something along that lines. So, why not talk about it? It's a big topic, and I'd love to discuss it with you guys. So we'll just dive right on into this, and just talk about it. And I personally, I've got my spouse is going to be working on Thanksgiving, so we've shifted our Thanksgiving celebration back to Friday as opposed to doing it on Thanksgiving, which is not, it's not a big deal. Honestly, it kind of gives me time to prep the food, and then we can have it all ready to roll on Friday, and then it's maybe it'll work out, maybe it'll be a little easier. Who knows? I don't know. But there's a lot of blue collar jobs that they don't care about the holidays. Well, let's see. I don't want to say they don't care about the holidays, but there's certain things like service work, for instance. You've got if you're cooking your turkey and your stove goes out, you would like to be able to have that fixed on Thanksgiving, right? Because you've got to cook for family, you've got friends, you've got family members that are coming from out of town that are expecting to have a turkey. There's certain things that you would like to be able to get worked on during the time. So there's 37%, according to the Google search that I did here, 37% of employers require at least a few employees to work on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I am interested to see, and you guys can drop it in the comments, because I don't know for sure. I've always known growing up that there's always certain things that are open on the holidays, no matter what. Now, I will say that some of the bigger box stores have gone to where they're no longer 24-hour stores, and they're not open all day on the holiday. They're open for some of the day, and then they shut down so that families can be home together. So there's that aspect of it, but a large portion of the companies, there's 33 to 40% of all companies require some employees to work on a major holiday like Thanksgiving. So, and I understand that, because there's still, especially in the service aspect of it, like I said, if your refrigerator goes out or your oven breaks down or something, I would say your oven breaks down like it's some major equipment. Well, it is a major piece of equipment, but you have that breakdown of an appliance or something along that lines that you're heavily depending on to be able to kick this holiday off with your family. So, I understand there being the need for some of that. Plumbers, Uncle Bob came over, ate too many deviled eggs. Now you got to call a plumber, stuff like that. See, that's funny. You gotta. So, there's those aspects of it, but a lot of times it could be, so say you have I say a blue collar man, maybe it's a blue collar woman that is in one of those trades and they get called out. It's all about flexibility to make that work in the relationship. Just like I said, my wife, her company requires her to work on Thanksgiving, and not requires her, but they're trucking along on Thanksgiving regardless. Now, she can take vacation and do whatever to be off on that day. But, it's one of those things where they also offer an incentive to work that day as well. So there's that benefit too. So that kind of works for the family as a whole. And I have 2 days off for my holiday for the Thanksgiving. So it works out good for us because we still get to have the holiday together. It's her scheduled day off. So it all works out, but it's all a matter of being flexible. And, you've always got that one rigid person in your life that's like, no, we're celebrating Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. Okay, fine. Maybe you're able to, maybe you as the person that doesn't have off like myself, or that has off, can go to that Thanksgiving dinner or lunch or whatever they choose, and you can go about it that way. And then you have your own Thanksgiving celebration with the immediate family for your significant other that wasn't able to be there. So you could do that. Personally, I don't see the big to do to have it on Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's just not feasible because people have to work, and the blue collar job is that's one of the downfalls to it, is that the work still has to be done no matter what. You've I don't know. I'm trying to piece this one together because I really thought that it'd be a good idea to talk about the blue collar families that have to deal with the missing of a family member on the holiday because they have to work, and it is the career they've chosen, and it's a good career. It's a lucrative career. So, they're like, all right, well, we're just going to have a little flexibility and make some changes to accommodate. And there's not a thing in the world wrong with that. I am fortunate that the company that I work for allows me to have the 2 days off for the holiday. So that, gives me the flexibility, and it works out great. But there are other companies out there that don't. Let's see. Let's do some of the Googling here. Let's see. Almost half of people employed. Hey, there you go. So even in the not in the blue collar world, half of sales jobs work on. Especially you think about, okay, so Black Friday. Thursday. Of course, Black Friday used to be a lot more fun. I'll be honest with you. And I only did it a couple of years to where it was, we ate dinner-ish, sat around, everybody watched football, and then we're like, all right, 9 or 10 o'clock, we're going to go stage up at the Walmart to get that new big screen TV for $200 off. And we're willing to fight for it because that's Jimmy Joe's Christmas present. And, that was the fun times, That was when you were really putting it all out there on the line to get that TV. But it doesn't seem like that it's like that anymore. Like, I noticed that there's been like Black Friday sales all week. And I'm like, that's no fun, okay, I get it. It's, they're trying to spread it out and to make it to where people don't get into fist fights over things and stuff like that. Hey, not everybody did that. Okay, it wasn't everywhere. It was just a certain few places that would go bananas over stupid stuff. And, fine. Don't do it with them, okay? Let us have the tradition after we're all fat and happy and we had a turkey nap, and then we all go out to our favorite stores and we get the deep discounts on the Black Friday. So I don't know. I think that kind of took away from some of it. There's always the family traditions of some people go bowling afterwards. There's all kinds of things you can do and you can do it whenever. It doesn't have to be exactly on the holiday. Now, if we're going to go back to the old, knockdown, drag out Black Friday sales, yeah, it's going to have to be on Black Friday. It's got to be the Friday after Thanksgiving. That's Black Friday. And for those of you that don't know, Black Friday is supposed to be the time in which that companies go in the positive. Like it's when they're the most profitable. And if I'm wrong, somebody drop a comment and tell me I'm wrong. You're stupid. You don't know anything about economics. You're right, I don't. I know just very little about economics, and that's fine. I don't have to know everything about economics because I'm a blue-collar guy. Okay, I turn wrenches for a living. I don't count beans or dollars or any of the financial bitcoins. I don't count any of that stuff. So the holidays, there's a lot of sales and stuff. So that's another thing too. So that's not really a blue collar job, but that's just an idea to let you know that, not everybody. A lot of times the holidays are when companies will shut down and when they have that lull to where most of the employees are either on vacation or they're going somewhere for the holidays, or, they have that holiday off. In maintenance, a lot of times we try to capitalize on those holidays to be able to shut the plant down and do electrical maintenance and stuff that we wouldn't normally be able to do during regular operations, because, you can't just go out there and throw the whole power switch to the whole building and tell everybody to just sit around in the dark and pay them. It's not really feasible for the company. It doesn't do them any good to have 300 employees sitting around in the dark. There's hazards if they could get hurt. And not to mention, you're paying them to sit around and do nothing. They can use their vacation and go do their own thing and sit on their duff at home. So there's that aspect of it. And that's where you've got to look at those blue collar jobs as sometimes the holidays are where everybody else gets to get off work, but sometimes that's where we have the opportunity to be able to get our work done, because everybody else is off with their families and everybody else is doing things on, outside of the facility. So working on a holiday is not a terrible thing. Honestly, I kind of enjoy it sometimes, because when we're there on the holiday, there's not a whole lot of other people there, so we can actually focus on our work and we don't get drug off into, hey, there's no water over here, or the hot water's not working in this sink. Can you take a look at that? Sure, I'll get right on that. Can you put in a work order and we'll get to it. But the holidays are a good time frame to be able to have less people there, honestly. Now, if you work in construction or road crew or something along that lines, now that may not necessarily be the best time for you to try and work. And you guys should just, I would say most of the time, I don't know that I've ever really seen a whole lot of construction crews working on the major holidays. Sorry, I'm, this is my after hours gig here. So, I've been up since 4 this morning. And we're at 7 o'clock tonight, so it's a long day. But, say, blue-collar life. And give you you don't have to feel sorry for me. It's fine. So I haven't really, I can't say that I've seen a whole lot of road crews working on the holidays, and some may. But personally, I would think that's probably the worst time in the world for a road crew to be working on a holiday, is because, one, you got more people traveling to families. 2, you probably got a bunch of people that are super sad about dealing with their family, and they probably drank a lot. I'm not condoning this at all, but they probably drank a lot, and then are driving home afterwards, and it's just not safe. So I'll be a big proponent for no road crews work on major holidays, and if you do, I don't think you do, because I've not seen a whole lot of it. But that's neither here nor there. And if I'm wrong, drop a comment. Hey, you guys can interact, okay? If you saw the live feed, I'm going to try and do some more of those. I don't think, you can kind of see it. So over here, right, right there we go. Pointing over here, you can see the hood of the 8N there, okay? So if you notice, there's the rear fenders and the shifter, and the hood's there. Well, I took it apart more than I really needed to take it apart, because I was working on it. If you saw the live feed, then, you kind of saw some of it, and I jacked around on there. I didn't really work on it near as much as I should have, but I was trying the live feed, checking that out. So maybe we'll do another one of those in the following weeks. But so I guess this will be a quick little episode here that, if you've got a blue collar family member, husband, wife, whatever it may be, give them a little extra love before they go off to work that day. And, just let them know that they're appreciated, and then try and do what you can to make it easy for them to be included in the family festivities, because, the toxic masculinity, which that was one of the episodes I was kind of thinking about doing tonight, but I was like, nah, we'll save that. But we'll drop it. If you've made it this far through the episode, you can sit down and talk about that around the Thanksgiving dining room table in case you have one of those special left-leaning family members, and bring up some toxic masculinity and let them know your thoughts on it. And some of that stuff is that toxic masculinity is what makes the world go around, and it helps to get things done, and it gives security, and it's not toxic. It's just masculinity, and we need to get rid of that. So, this has been Living the Dream. I'm Sam. Go have a great Thanksgiving with the family. Have some drinks. Eat some turkey. Talk about politics. Make it a fun, festive event, It's always fun to make it awkward for everybody. So if you make it through Thanksgiving and you don't upset anybody over your topic of politics, we'll see y'all next week. If you're late, you're lost.